All right, everybody, welcome back to the Father Guy channel. Make sure you like and subscribe so you will not miss out on future content. And today, we're going to talk about, real quick, brief history of Texas within about 3 minutes. So let's get right into it. Okay, as you can see, I got a slide here, and basically it starts off with the pre-colonial and indigenous area. For thousands of years, there was a lot of different native tribes that lived in this area. We got such as as it says here, Caddo, Comanche, and Apaches, and many others. But then eventually we have the Spanish and Mexican rule from about the 1500s to the 1836, and that date is important. But throughout the 1500s, the Spaniards arrived and established missions and settlements all throughout Central America, Mexico, and up into Texas. And then eventually, like I said, the area was sparsely populated, so they allowed here Stephen F. Austin to bring in people to help settle the land, and we'll get more into that later. But then in 1836, we have the Texas Revolution, and many may not know, but Texas was at one point its own independent nation, and it lasted for 9 years from 1836 to 1845. And that was from the battle. They had the Battle of the Alamo, and then right after that was the Battle of San Jacinto, and that's when Texas won its independence from Mexico. And then shortly after that, we have statehood and Civil War period from 1845 to 1865. Of course, Texas, joined with the Confederacy. We can get more into that later, but logistically, it just makes sense. I don't see how they would have joined the North just because too far apart. Like I said, that lasted 1865. We all know when the Civil War ended, and then after that, we have the cattle, oil, and economic growth period from like the late 1800s to the 1900s. Like here it says, Texas became known for cattle ranching and open range, and I had forgotten about this until recently looking at it. The discovery of oil at Spindletop. I couldn't remember exactly where, but I knew there was oil here that they discovered a long time ago, in 1901. And of course, that launched an economic boom in the state, and then just led to Texas becoming a powerhouse. And then eventually, we have, it says here, over in the 20th century, cities like Houston, Dallas, and Austin grew rapidly. And if you look on a map, it's about like the shape of a triangle. If you kind of map it out, you can probably throw in San Antonio down there as well. And in that is a big triangle, and that's where the majority of the population lives in the state. I mean, granted, there's still a lot of people that live out in the rural areas. It's Texas. I mean, they're everywhere. And then we have the modern era, 2000s to present. And as you can see here, Texas is the second most populous state, and within the union, behind I believe it's California. It has become a leader in energy, tech, aerospace, and agricultural. And there is a very diverse population in the state. You think of it, somebody lives here. So there you have it. Texas, brief history of Texas, less than 3 minutes. Make sure you like and subscribe. Stay tuned. More videos to come.